Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu. Certified to operate by Chev.
A burst pipe at 3 a.m. is a bad way to start the day. A cold shower in November isn't invigorating. So before you start freaking, call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is just one call away 24 hours a day. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard that tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Hey, how about Seattle's in the news because this 28-year-old dude named Simon Jackson, who was working at a design and engineering firm and wasn't making enough to cover his rent. So he protested his low pay by moving into his cubicle.
Brilliant. I love this guy already.
Right.
We could do that here. Not a lot of people are working.
Yeah.
We could all set up our own little apartments.
Oh, we could have little forts.
Yes.
I get Fort Kick-Ass.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I get Fort, leave me alone, I'm napping.
I'm watching a video of this dude, man, and wow, there he is, just setting it up, getting dressed. This is wild.
If we're making property claims now, I'm going to claim the green room.
Dang it!
You can't claim that whole room.
I already did.
I've slept in there more than you have.
Come fight me.
And I thought we were
here we go. We're going to war.
I thought we were just doing cubicles.
Nope.
Oh.
That room has a couch.
It does.
Yeah, it's got everything. Everything you need. But of course, it doesn't have a kitchen, does it? So you know what? Someone claim the kitchen area quick.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh yeah, right. It's
I'm
not a community kitchen.
I'm claiming the lactation station.
Oh, there you go. You never know when you're going to need to lactate, Steve.
You don't.
Wow.
And it'll make things awkward when someone comes in there to use it. Hey, what? This is my house.
It's my house.
I don't come to your house and lactate.
I would love to know what this guy, this is where I want information, how much did he make and how much was his rent? Because
it's Seattle, so his rent was probably like $5,000 a month for a studio.
And, so, and he was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My lease is ending. They're raising the rent. Hadn't found a new apartment. But he did say that, he hated his job. So he's like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. It doesn't matter, which, we're seeing that a lot more and more. People are like, you know what? I can find something else. I don't care.
There's a certain level of freedom in not giving an F.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It's a wonderful thing. I remember that myself, Steve. And he was on TikTok and he was like, check out my new apartment. And it shows him, man, moving all his clothes and belongings into the cubicle while no one's there. Put a sleeping bag under his desk. Said there's plenty of space in the office because, many people are still working from home. So your idea is right, Steve. That's what he thought.
But he's got kind of like the cubicles like we have. Like the old cubicles with the super high walls would be a lot easier. But now he's got those ones where, the cubicle next to you can still see you from basically the shoulders up.
I hate those cubicles. We have those too. I hate them. There's no privacy.
Especially if you want to move in there.
Yeah, exactly. He got away with this for 4 days.
That's 3 more days than I thought.
Yeah, but somebody from HR eventually caught wind. Look, as long as somebody's in the office, someone's going to go late. What the hell? Are you living here, man?
Well, it probably doesn't help that the video has gotten 1.4 million likes on it. So that means it's gotten even more views because not everyone always clicks the like button. So you got to imagine it's got a couple million views.
So, they were like, look, dude, you need to clear everything out, delete the videos you posted online, or we're going to fire you. And he's like, you know what? I got a better idea. I'll quit, which, of course, is kind of what I think he was thinking. How about this, though? His side hustle is designing and selling rompers for adults. And apparently he's got a lot of potential customers out of this because, like you said, 1.4 million views.
I got to be honest, dude, his rompers are pretty sweet.
They look really neat.
Yeah.
They're super funky and fun. And
there you go.
Oh, yeah, there he is, just bouncing up and down on his rompers. Yeah, this guy knew exactly what he was doing. Oh, he's got the eggplant. Is that an eggplant romper?
That's an eggplant one.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Steve, if there's anything custom made for you,
next time we go to the Kraken game, Steve,
wear an eggplant. I'm thinking about switching my wrestling attire. Just say, screw the spandex. I'm going with eggplant rompers.
There you go.
And that looks like a holiday one I see over there.
Skittles.
Oh, it's Skittles.
Skittles.
Oh, very nice.
They even have a Disney princess one for you, Danny.
Nice. I am a princess.
And I'm sure these are all licensed with the particular companies that he's
totally,
working.
yeah.
Are eggplants going to sue him?
No, but I think Skittles might.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I think Disney might.
What if I did that as my new wrestling attire and I'm like known as the eggplant Steve Miggs?
You are now.
And my finisher's the eggplanter.
What are you going to use your groin? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to use your groin to finish him?
It could be like I could do like a massive atomic drop where I just make him land on my knee.
Or you could use your hose. Like our new Drew Lock. You could use your hose, your arm.
Oh, okay, yes.
See, these are all fantastic ideas.
BJ, would you wear a romper?
No.
Never? Not even around the house?
I mean, they don't look. I don't think they're that comfortable. They don't look that comfortable to me. I guess they're shorts, right? Aren't they shorts and a shirt all in one piece?
Yeah, it's all just like a one-piece thing.
And a hoodie.
It looks like he's got the hoodie, like pajama-y type ones, like the really soft material for the wintertime. So,
Well, I like a separate pants and separate top. That doesn't mean I don't like the material, but I don't think I'll be rompering around anytime soon.
Yeah, I have that dinosaur onesie, and if it got cold in the house, I would wear that. And it's really hard to go to the bathroom wearing
I was about to
those
say,
things.
does this have a flap?
Yeah, like it's you got to basically get naked in order to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I don't need that in my life.
Truth.
But you know what? Congratulations, you guys. You romp around, have a great time, and help this guy's side hustle.
The one Vicky was just showing BJ was pandas, but for a second I thought it was snowmen, and I was like, Vicky,
How dare you troll BJ
you're
with
going to
that?
give him such a complex.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
llamas.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't need this. But you know what? This is not for my generation. That's the problem.
What about we get like BJ and Miggs rompers?
Yes.
Would you wear
So
it
what
then?
part of when I said I don't want to wear a romper would make you think that I would want to sell rompers?
Well, to be honest, none of that part, I guess.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
As long as we're all right. So then it seems like a great idea. Perfect.
He's selling them between $100 and $150. So I mean, we can
Oh, at
sell
that
some
point, I'll sell
rompers.
anything. I'll sell anything. What's the margin? I need to know what it costs to make one of these things. Let me get Mr. Wonderful on the phone. Let's Shark Tank this.
I might have to hard pass on that. I'm not dropping $100 on a romper.
Oh, you're not going to do that? Why?
No.
It's a side hustle. He needs a place to live.
Someone says I basically live at the shop I work at during the week. Home is over an hour drive away, and I just don't have gas money to make it there and back every day. So I sleep on the couch in the office, make breakfast in the break room every morning. My boss was actually the one who suggested it a couple of months ago when he heard that I was going to sleep in my car because I was too tired to drive at home that night.
I know that. I mean, I feel like, yeah, a lot of, I don't think it's legal for zoning issues, but I mean, obviously, who's going to tell anybody? So it's nice that the boss lets him do it. But I do believe, because people would like to want to sleep in their offices. They go, look, I'm renting this space as my office. Why can't I also live here? But a lot of buildings have a rule against that.
I've done that a couple times here where I slept here. Back in the old office when we had our own like door and that pull-out couch.
Yeah.
Like it was like a super small pull-out couch bed, if you even want to call it that. But
It was basically a padding.
it was just padding that folded out to be padding on the floor that was long enough for you to sleep on.
But it worked.
But it worked great.
Yeah.
It's a good crash. It was a good crash idea.
Yeah, there's a couple instances where it was just like, okay, this late night, whatever concert event, and it's just like it made more sense just to stay here.
Yeah, that's why, I mean, if you can, it's always good to live close to work if you can. I mean, not everybody can do it, especially now because just it's insane. If you work near a big city, which is usually what happens, then you're going to pay big city prices if you live anywhere near there.
What's the going rate for a one-bedroom apartment in Seattle?
Oh, I got to see at least in Seattle, I got to go $3,000.
No.
If you want a decent place, one bedroom?
My cousin lived in South Lake Union, and he was paying, I think it was $22.80 a month.
For a one-bedroom?
How long ago was that?
A year ago, not even.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's better than I thought.
I mean, you could
But I want to stay in elegant South Lake Union.
Oh, good luck.
But I just saw a website here, live in elegant South Lake Union. I'm like, I don't remember being all that elegant, but okay.
Now it is.
I know,
because all those Amazonians.
Square footage is also big too, Danny. I mean, even though you have a one bedroom, it really depends, what's the rest of the living space. But
Yeah, I mean, I think you can find stuff. I mean, but I think you're going to be paying between like $25,000 and $3,000 probably now.
that's just nuts.
That's crazy. Because
It really is.
If you dip out a few miles, okay, maybe a lot, but still, like go to like South End or even North End, like you could get a house for that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for that kind of payment.
Insanity.
But you've got a commute that's a pain in the ass if you're going to South End, North End.
I guess you have to. Nowadays, especially with gas prices, I mean, it's probably cheaper to live in Seattle, even if you're paying like $1,000 more a month than you would if you were living in, Federal Way.
But because everybody started working from home and everyone's like, okay, well, if I don't have to live in the city anymore, I'm just going to move north or south. So all those prices went up like crazy the last couple of years. So kind of balances out. So I'm kind of hoping things get a little cheaper.
Oh, man. So now it tells you that you can't go anywhere. Now everything's expensive. Okay.
Yeah, just stay in your cubicle.
All right. That's a good idea. I'm gonna be a cubicle guy is what I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's around a couple thousand there, like 2,500, like what Danny was saying.
That's a lot of dough. I mean, you think about $2,500 a month, and then you go, okay, what is that? What is that a year? As my brain is going to try to figure that out, and it can't.
Don't ask me.
It's $10,000 every 4 months. So what's that? $30,000? Am I doing my brain right on that? Is that $30,000 a year that you're paying for an apartment?
Oh,
yeah.
If it's $2,500 a month, yes.
Think about that. $30,000 a year, that's just what you pay. Then think about the fact that if you get a job that pays you $50,000 a year, what are you getting, $35,000 net? I mean, he has a point. How can you live off of that?
You can't.
I mean, you really can't.
My favorite part is the banks that tell you that you can't buy a house, but you can live to pay somebody else's mortgage by renting it with that kind of salary.
Yeah, that's even like, I'm seeing some of these listings, Peter. It's like $1,500 for some of them that are like a studio, like $1,200.
Yeah.
And more of them are around like $1,000. But that's just insanity.
Or the micro apartments; those are big, and I've seen
those are without bathrooms, right?
I don't know if they're.
Is it like a shared bathroom?
No, I think they might have a bathroom, but it's like you're living in workspace or you're living in sleep space is like exactly the same. They have like the high-rise bed and weird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. And think about the fact: what if you come out
in a dorm?
I know.
Yeah. What if you come out with college debt? I mean, what can you hope to make per year? And then you've got your college debt. You've got if you're trying to live in a decent place, a 1-bedroom apartment that's costing you $30,000 a year. You've maybe gone in you've got between $50,000 and $100,000 in student loans, and then your entry level. Maybe you're lucky you make $60,000 to $75,000 a year. Maybe you're lucky unless you're a tech genius but even still, if you make 6 figures, it's not like you can save $1 skillion like you're supposed to as a young person and get that compound interest.
Yeah.
It's a beating.
What is saving money? Who does that?
Yeah, I know. We have Todd Peach on all the time for BECU, and he's like, well, what I'd like to see you do, emergency fund. Don't you understand, dude? My home is the emergency fund. It's like every day is an emergency just to pay for this place.
Every day is an emergency.
No, not wrong.
Oh, yeah. So Simon Jackson making a cubicle his home. Good job, buddy. I think you did a great job, and pay $150 for his eggplant romper. You'll be happy.
Yes, I said I'm paying $1,800 a month for 600 square feet in Greenwood.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But you're close to the Wing Dome. Is that place even still open?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh,
Of course.
Danny knows.
I love Wing Dome.
Unbelievable. You know what? I love the fact it doesn't matter what we're talking about. Steve's like, well, if it's close to a Wing Dome, I think it's all reasonable.
Well, there used to be a lot of Wing Domes. Now it's just that one.
No, there's one by the waterfront now, too.
Well, how about that?
Yeah. I found
again,
that out.
Which waterfront?
The one down by the...
Not really the important part of the story, but you know what, guys? Good job.
That is the most important part. I don't know what you're talking about, PJ. Have you had their wings?
Oh, man. I know. They're really good. I know. It's just weird. Yeah. Hey, during a recent interview, Samuel L. Jackson just shared a crazy story about working on Broadway while smoking crack. Mace Windu smokes crack? No. You'll hear from Sam at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Everything is better electrified. Like the guitar, toothbrushes, or cars. And Hyundai has the widest range of electrified vehicles on the market, including the first ever Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. You can use electric when you want it or gas when you need it. It's your journey. Evolve it beyond the pump in the 2022 Tucson or Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs. Visit your nearest Hyundai dealer or learn more at HyundaiUSA.com. Call 562-314-4603 for complete details.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Earlier this week, we played some audio of Samuel L. Jackson on the Happy, Sad, Confused show, where he shared with host Josh Horowitz how he would like to play Mace Windu from Star Wars again. He's the dude with the purple lightsaber. It was pretty cool. Also on the podcast, Sam shares just this crazy story about his issue with drugs in the past and about how being addicted to crack while being an understudy on Broadway.
I was Charles Dutton's understudy on Broadway. I'm killing this role so much, they got to call him and tell him, dude, we don't need you, and that didn't happen. And I ended up being, his understudy on Broadway. So I'm, signing in every night and sitting on the fire escape behind the theater, listening to him do the role that I had done. And we did it very differently. So naturally, I was thinking, why is he messing us up like that? And then the play gets Pulitzer Surprise. He wins a Tony, and I'm like, I'm in agony, man. I was like, so I would literally go to the theater, sign in, and while they were getting ready to go up between curtain, I would get on the A train, ride uptown, buy some cocaine, stop at my house, cook it, come back to the theater, and go sit on the fire escape and watch Jessica Lange smoke cigarettes behind the theater while she was doing Cat. And I was smoking my crack pipe on the fire escape, listening to them do the play and losing my mind.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a lot to unpack right there.
There's a whole lot to unpack.
He's so casual with it. It's a casual thing that happened.
Yeah, got my Coke, went home, cooked it up. See, that right there, that's what keeps me from smoking crack. I can't cook anything. I have to beg my wife to boil eggs for me, I
got to put on the Traeger.
Yeah, that's true.
Traeger crack is the best crack.
Can you smoke the crack before you smoke the crack? That's the question.
That's the idea. Smoked crack is the best way to have crack. You got to have it smoked.
Yeah, what flavored pellets do you use for that one?
Just hickory, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That hickory barbecue crack.
Then Matt, I would love to get was it Jessica Lange?
Yeah.
Her perspective. Does she remember any of this? And did she know who that was? Because obviously before Sam Jackson became the big star that he is now. But did she think there's just this random guy smoking crack in the back while I'm smoking a cigarette? Or did she know that he's also an actor?
That's a good question. I mean, look, Hollywood knows all about drugs. So I don't know if she would have been that phased. But, yeah, I wonder if she knew that's what he was doing.
Because I would be phased if I was just if we were doing a work event and sometimes you go outside to leave the bar and there's people having a quote unquote safety meeting in there. Smoking some weed, and you're like, okay, group of people smoking weed, what's going on? But imagine going outside to get a little breather, and there's a group of people just smoking crack. I don't know how I would handle that. I know I wouldn't be let's talk. I'd probably just go right back into the bar.
I know I tripped out when that happened to me while a guy was driving. He started doing some bumps of coke off of his hand while we were driving, and he was a client for the radio station. And that was just they had me go hang out with the dude because, hey, here's a big client wants to spend a lot of money in the station and he wants to meet you because you're going to be in a certain town. I'm like, sweet. So, I'm in Vegas. I'm in that town. And this guy is he's just driving me around. And I'm thinking, hey, it's going good. Hopefully he'll, buy advertising on a station. And next thing I know, he just gets the envelope and right out of the movies, just pops them all in his hand and just starts snorting coke off his hand while driving. And I'm like, wow. It's just I know I got this, I'm a rock and roll, guy as far as the kind of show I'm doing, but wow.
Were you wearing your Scarface shirt? That's probably why.
The Scarface shirt, I think, is what did it. He just assumed that I would be that guy.
This guy's wearing a Scarface shirt. He probably likes blow. Yeah. I'll do that for him.
Wow. Now, you might wonder how Samuel L. Jackson can be so cavalier in talking about the fact that he just smoked crack like that, because, I think some people would be ashamed, but here he talks about how he ended up going to rehab.
I went to a bachelor party. Ruben Santiago Hudson was having a bachelor party in the middle of the day for some reason at the Sharp Bar. And, I drank a bunch of tequila. I was drunk when it was time for it to be over. And I was like, well, I was on my way home. I got in the cab. I was like, I need to level off. So I need to stop by the Coke Man's house and get my thing together because I got to go to the show tonight. And I went there, went home, cooked the cocaine. Boom, I woke up. My wife and daughter were standing over me in the kitchen. I was laying on the floor in the kitchen. And one of my best friends from high school and college was a drug counselor in Knoxville. She called him. And the very next day, I was on my way upstate to rehab. So that's how that all happened.
Damn.
Dude, how about your wife and little kid and you wake up that way? I mean, that's your bottom. I mean, literally on the floor while they're looking over on you. And
I just remember the look of disappointment the other day when my wife found out that I ate some of the nothing bun cake that she brought home. And it was a little bit smaller of a sized cake than it was when she first brought it. And she just gave me that look like, did you eat this? Like,
yeah, that's a lot. I mean, your situation is definitely a lot worse. I mean, your wife is right.
Tatum also was looking at me with disappointment. Yeah. I'm just like,
are you going to? Are you going to
pecan flavored one and that frosting?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude,
are you going to go to Nothing Bunt Rehab?
Yeah, I did. I did. I'm good now.
Yeah, good job.
It was a quick. It was like a shake shadle type thing. It was fast.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. So now
cravings are gone, BJ.
Now when you see bunt cake, you just hurl. Is that what's going on?
Oh,
okay.
Man.
All right. Well, you know what? Whatever you got to do, sir.
Well,
I'm good now, though.
And Tatum may have been looking at you disparagingly now until she starts realizing that that's what you're doing, like sweet stuff. And then all of a sudden, guess who's going to be like, hey, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
You are the best.
Oh, she's already starting that. Like, when all else fails, let's see if Dad's down.
Oh,
you know, like she'll be like saying something to, like, Mommy, blah, blah, like whatever it is. Like, to watch a show. Mommy, Peppa. And, you know, Sid will be like, no, you've watched enough TV today. Like we're done with TV. And then there'll be like a 3-second pause, like it's processing in her head, and then she just goes, Daddy Peppa? And I'm like, kid, we don't need that headache. But
I respect your game, but nah.
I totally respect your game. And if Mommy was leaving the house, Daddy Peppa all the way. But no.
Oh, yeah. She's going to figure out you're the weak link. No doubt
she knows it already, BJ.
Yeah.
She hasn't figured it out. She already has that locked in.
Yeah, she knows.
I'm the pushover in the house for sure.
And this is where, your wife is going to be like, I have 2 children. I don't have one. I have 2.
She had to bring up a very solid point. My wife's like, because my response was, no, Mom won't let you watch this. She's like, you have to like be on my side. You can't be like, Mom won't let, then I'm the bad guy. I'm like, well, you are. I want to watch Peppa too.
I mean, look, you're not lying. You said no. I'm kind of in the yes camp. You're the one that said no, and I'm only saying no because I don't want you to be mad at me.
You don't want me to lie to my child.
Look at
I want to see Peppa as well. I love muddy puddles.
Yeah. I mean, this is something I think the bad cop is going to realize. Like, there's a good cop and a bad cop. Sorry, but you decided to put the bad cop hat on.
Yep.
So that's what you're going to be.
Muddy puddles are on your hands, not mine.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we know that Nick Cage, has always wanted to be Superman, but now he says he wants to join the Batman franchise. And of course, people are I got to go see this movie. I can't believe I haven't seen it yet, but everyone is just raving about the Batman. It's like $500 million it's made globally. And Nick Cage is like, yeah, I want to be part of this. I want to be part of the Batman franchise. And I mean, look, I give him credit because Nick has gone deep. He is a huge geek because he's even got a character that he wants to play. And unless you're my age or you were just somebody that followed the 60s Batman show or you're really deep into old school Batman comics, you're probably not even going to know the villain that he wants to play. It's a character called Egghead. And
I don't even know it. Okay.
No, you shouldn't know it. I mean, on the TV show, Vincent Price, like a lot of people back in the 60s, everybody wanted to be on the 60s Batman show. Everybody wanted to be on it. You had a lot of famous people at the time that said, please, this is like a hot thing. I want to be on this TV show. And Vincent Price, who you guys may remember from Edward Scissorhands as the father, doctor, creator. He was a great actor in horror movies. He had a wonderful career, but like everybody else, he's like, hey, I want to be part of this Batman thing. And so he played a character called Egghead, which was a bald dude, which in those days you didn't see somebody fully bald. He had the ball cap on, I'm sure.
Yeah. Did he have like an egg? I mean, a head extender? Like, because it doesn't.
Yeah.
It
did. They definitely made his head look like an egg.
Yeah, but they did a pretty good job. Like, you would think the special effects back then wouldn't be as good, but whatever they used to extend his head size, it looked pretty realistic.
It was a very, very cheesy character, and
I remember it, dude. Because I watched Batman like anyone else, on syndication. You saw it, and I barely remember it. But once Vicky pulled out the picture, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that dude. He had a weird, abnormally long forehead.
They were all just terrible egg puns. I actually found a little clip of him doing some of this. It's hilarious.
You can't come in here and steal my eggs like this, bub. Mr. McDonald, you should be expressing your thanks that I saw fit to grace your ranch with my presence. Besides, your prices are exorbitant.
Oh, yeah, everything was just eggs, whatever.
So what was his superpower? Like, was he just threw eggs at you, or could he make a really good omelet?
There was some egg throwing in that scene, yes.
Yeah, he's Egghead
God,
also... Right. Egghead was what you called somebody who was very, very smart also back in the day. So he was super smart as well.
Yeah, no one ever called me that. So I
I mean, it was one of the cheesiest characters, and frankly,
oh my gosh, dude, I'm watching the clips, DJ. This is embarrassingly bad. I forgot how bad this was.
Dude, that's of that old Batman is embarrassingly bad.
But they're fighting and they're using eggs as a weapon, like a carton of eggs, and they're throwing eggs at each other like they're throwing bullets.
Yeah, it's hysterical, dude. I mean, really. But this is 1960s, got to be safe for the kids television. So
was this like an Easter episode? At least
you don't even think so, man.
Dude, it's they had to come up with all of these different villains who really weren't. Some of them weren't even part of Batman canon, but everybody wanted to be on the show. So you had Lord Fogg, you had the Puzzler, you had the Bookworm. All these people who I never heard of any of these idiots. I mean, I know the Joker, I know the Mad Hatter, I know the Riddler, but I don't know Egghead. But I guess he was in the comics, but he really didn't make that much of an appearance. But this is who Nick Cage wants to play.
Let him be it.
Yeah, he's like, and he says, I can make him absolutely terrifying. And so Nicolas Cage has given this thought. He's like, I know how to make this Egghead guy, and I want him to be the guy. And he's contacted Warner Brothers. I mean, imagine if you're Warner Brothers going, oh, Nick Cage wants to do what?
Wouldn't it be great, like, whoever the person is answers the phone is like, Nick Cage is on the phone? Like, what does he want? He wants to be Eggman from Batman. Oh, okay. Let's talk to him.
And from what I understand, he was introduced in the TV show. Like that's where he was never a villain in the comics. And then eventually they might have put him in the comics a couple of times after. But he got his, like a lot of those villains for the Batman TV show, they were made up for the show.
It's funny that someone just texted saying you can watch 1960s era of Batman on the H&I network on Tuesdays. And Egghead was last week's episode.
Wow. Oh, really?
Talk about time. It's all meant to be, man. It's like serendipity or something.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is a snapshot of what they thought was, and it was a primetime TV show. That's the other thing. This wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon. This was on 2 nights a week.
What the hell is the H&I network anyway?
Heroes and Icons Network.
Is that on Xfinity?
Wow. I'm not sure. That's what I'm looking at. I've never heard of this.
Well, it's probably an app somewhere, I bet.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's how it always is.
Man, I know he did Ghost Rider, but just someone help him. Give him like some kind of a superhero character.
Yeah, I feel like
that's all he wants. And like someone brought up a good point. He was great in Kick-Ass.
Yeah, as Big
Daddy.
I mean, he was great.
Look, I think Nick can be a great actor in the right situation because he's proven it before. He's done some great movies. He's also just done some crap. And I think that's just a matter of his wanting money or his having financial issues or just whatever the reason was he made some bad decisions.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman's a fine actor who won an Academy Award, and yet her work in Star Wars is horrible, but it's just because she was given crap.
Watch it.
She was given crap. What else? She couldn't do much with the lines she was given.
She was great. That one scene where they sliced her shirt and all of a sudden it became like a crop top. That was awesome.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot that. But then there was no dialogue in that scene. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
I can't go where you want me to go, Annie. Okay, you know what? I want to go from this theater. Gross. That's what I want to do.
Isn't Nick Cage in something new that's like getting a bunch of buzz?
There was that's coming out soon. It's called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he plays himself.
Yes.
And he doesn't have any money, so he's has to make a paid appearance for a billionaire who's a super fan of him, and then the CIA get involved, and
who's this
drug
now?
Kingpin.
Nicolas
Cage.
Oh, wow.
He's playing an exaggerated version of himself.
I love this plan.
And somehow I feel it's not going to be that exaggerated.
But everyone's raving about this. Every review I've said is it's an incredible performance. It's just a must watch.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It's a movie, and it's got an all-star cast: Pedro Pascal, Demi Moore, Tiffany Haddish, Neil Patrick Harris.
When's it dropping?
Let me check.
In your face.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't say where it's dropping. I said when is it dropping? But on my
face, 22nd.
Oh wow, that is really close.
Next month. Yeah.
Oh, very, very stoked. Oh man. Oh, such good television.
I guess
I'm looking forward to that.
The plot, according to this, the IMDb says that he accepts a $1 million offer to attend a wealthy fan's birthday party, and things take an unexpected turn when the CIA shows up,
dun, dun, dun.
giving him an unusual mission.
It only has 19 reviews on the tomato meter, and it's at 100%.
So,
I'm very
Critics.
excited.
So he's playing himself, but the CIA needs him to help them with a mission.
Of course.
This is so fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And it's Netflix?
I don't know.
Oh, we don't know. You know when it's dropping. We know that. But Steve says it's dropping on my face. But for everybody else, where is it going to
Yeah, I don't know. I just know it's on your face. That's about as far as it goes. Is it in theaters? Because that sucks if it does.
Oh, I bet it probably is.
Who wants to go
Yeah,
to
that makes
theaters
sense.
to see this?
Oh, I missed the pandemic.
Fair.
Oh, jeez.
Where everybody would let you know.
Yeah,
It'd
how
all be
about
released on
no?
my TV.
Let's back that truck up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, I like watching everything on my TV, Danny. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one right.
What country is directly west of Spain?
America.
No.
Canada.
No.
Portugal.
Yes.
That's right, Steve.
That was a shocker, I have to tell you.
Dude, really, yeah.
You want a shot at BDC? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're playing Beat Migs at 8:48 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu, certified to operate by Chev.